Teachers, students, and doctors volunteer at Tzu Chi's monthly distribution for the Syrian refugees. Yuli慈济Hospital's emergency medical services saved a patient who suffered from a cardiac arrest. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. In Turkey, Tzu Chi volunteers distribute financial assistance to Syrian refugees monthly. This month, the students and teachers at the Menahal School have come to volunteer. In addition, the doctors at the Free Clinic Center have also come to help out. Let's join them there.
This is the monthly aid distribution for Syrian refugees at the Menahal School. Despite the large number of people, they have lined up orderly.
Tzu Chi has accompanied us throughout the years. I hope our children can let go of anger and give back to the society with what they've learned, to be grateful at all times.
The refugee families agree with what Professor Kuma has said. In addition, many of them made donation to the Bamboo Coin Bank.
My father passed away, leaving my mother and I behind. I'm glad to come here. Professor Kuma and the other teacher are like my family members. They helped me cope with the loss of my father.
Besides the students, the doctors and school teachers also came to help out at the venue.
Thank you for giving us the chance to come to this school and serve the people in need. We're glad to be part of this event as we can help the sick and poor as well as the seniors. As a teacher, I can allow my students to grow with compassion while volunteering. For me, this is truly wonderful. I'm very proud.
Distribution notification slip is a symbol of love. This shows the strong connection between the Syrian refugees and global Tzu Chi volunteers.
We will use different patterns for each distribution event in case of decease. We will also go through the write-off process once we got the notification slips back. This is important because the aid supplies came from the help of many. We must cherish them.
During the event, we'll invite the Syrian people and children to do the sign language performance with us. Both children and their parents were happy while learning it. This is also a chance for us to show them our love and care.
The refugees fled the country to escape from the war. Fortunately, Tzu Chi volunteers have provided assistance, helping them to face their struggles during this period of time.
Tzu Chi volunteers from Sri Lanka, Taiwan, and Singapore have gathered at the Tzu Chi National School in Hambantota, Sri Lanka. They were preparing for the upcoming large-scale distribution events. Besides the preparation work, volunteers also visited impoverished households in the area. Many residents were glad to see the presence of the volunteers.
At the Tzu Chi National School in Hambantota, the volunteers are busy cleaning up the activity center.
I came here 15 years ago. For me, 15 years just passed by in a blink of an eye.
After the Indian Ocean tsunami of 2004, Tzu Chi Foundation had helped to build this school. 15 years have already passed, and this time volunteers from Taiwan, Singapore, and Sri Lanka would conduct a large-scale distribution event here.
We believe more than 2,000 people will come and join the event. Our venue is not spacious enough to accommodate so many people. I think this place can accommodate in between 800 to 1,000 people. However, we'll try to make it work.
3 countries discuss, and there are many suggestions.
Whenever there is a problem, volunteers will work together to solve it. All of them wanted the event to go well. Meanwhile, volunteers also conducted home visits to understand the local impoverished households' living conditions.
Tzu Chi has always been supporting us. We'll never forget their help. All of us are grateful and content as well.
Although the residents live in poverty, with Tzu Chi volunteers' love and care, they feel spiritually wealthy.
The UNEA4 taking place in Nairobi, Kenya, recently came to a close. On the last day of the assembly, the Tzu Chi Foundation was invited to participate on the panel of a faith-based seminar. Tzu Chi was the only Buddhist organization represented on the panel. Representatives got a chance to share concrete examples and exchange ideas on combating global warming. The Tzu Chi team shared with the attendees the daily practices of recycling volunteers.
Tzu Chi, it's an international humanitarian organization founded by Dharma Master Cheng Yun, certainly a bodhisattva of a high order. The commitment of the bodhisattva is to live in compassion for all living beings.
On the last day at UNEA4, various faith group representatives from all over the world gathered to exchange ideas on fighting global warming. Tzu Chi is taking part of the conversation as the only Buddhist organization represented on the panel.
Bodhisattva practice is through the daily. You see the all walks of life. They are doing the recycling. That's the beauty. And when they practice with sincerity, integrity, faith, and honesty.
Faith-based always the grassroots. Faith-based organize the community. When they set it up the policy without the grassroots, without the community participate, the policy cannot carry out. So faith-based need to be here.
Not only spiritual guidance from Tzu Chi at UNEA4, the Assembly gave the NGO a chance to inspire others by showcasing its practices and solutions for the environment.
In Rwanda, there is gaps in solid waste management. We found the Buddhist Tzu Chi Foundation. They use the community to sort the waste and then take those sorted waste and come up with some good products. We wish to collaborate with them so that we can improve the recycling in Rwanda.
Other people draw from Tzu Chi not only its approach on the communities, but its engineering as well. Like Global Spark, a young organization which, like Tzu Chi, develops bricks from plastic.
We are learning more from them, what they are doing, what they are not doing, and what we can do together jointly to come up with a solution to get rid of this menace.
You can use different kind of plastic to produce this one. As I said earlier, you only need a proper temperature to melt it.
Exchanges like this one are also an opportunity to observe other approaches, to draw inspiration, and share the enthusiasm for the common cause.
It's amazing to see two young students. They have a sincere heart to get involved to solve the environmental problem. We really hope that they will be successful.
We've got to the end of an intense and inspiring week in the name of environmental protection. The state of the Earth is at stake now more than ever, but we've seen a lot of ideas and plans that make us a little bit optimistic about the future. Tzu Chi got to show its perspective to others and got from others new ideas to move forward in the ongoing mission to bring compassion and relief into the world.
For 20 years, the Yuli慈济Hospital has been offering emergency medical services, saving countless lives. Among them is the eyeglasses store owner, Mr. Wu. Back in 2012, Mr. Wu, who was sent to the Yuli慈济Hospital when he suffered a heart attack, underwent emergency medical treatment for 30 minutes without seeing any improvements. However, Superintendent Dr. Chen Yanbi did not give up, and finally his heart started beating again. Recalling the experience, Mr. Wu is grateful to the staff of the Yuli慈济Hospital and says that he hopes the hospital will continue to safeguard the lives of the local residents. 80-year-old Grandpa Jiang needs a new pair of glasses since his vision has deteriorated. He immediately thought of going to the Yuanbao eyeglasses store in Yuli Township.
The store owner, Mr. Wu, offers really great services. He will ask about the needs of the customers. He's willing to do the work even if it's troublesome.
The store owner is Wu Guoyuan. He has spent a few years working away from where he grew up. Then he decided to return to his hometown to take over the family eyeglasses store, which he has been in charge of for the past 35 years.
There's only my grandmother and my mother left, still living at home. My grandmother suffered from poor health. Back then, my sister kept telling me to take over the glasses store. This way I could spend more time with my family.
He's very patient toward his customers, which in turn gained him a group of loyal clients. Nevertheless, from his appearance alone, one could never tell that he actually has had cardiovascular disease ever since he was little.
Back then, the doctor told me not to exercise strenuously. That was what he said to me. Maybe back then, if I had decided to undergo the necessary surgery, it would have been a major one.
Since medical technology weren't so advanced before, Wu simply spent most of his lifetime being extremely careful. However, in 2012, Wu had a narrow escape from death.
My wife said that she had talked with me for about half an hour. However, in my memory, I do not recall that. I simply collapsed on the spot.
Wu had collapsed in his own eyeglasses store. When he was sent to the Yuli慈济hospital, both his breathing and heart had stopped. Superintendent Dr. Chen Yanbi, who was working the ER shift at the time, immediately administered epinephrine and started performing CPR on him.
When he came, his face had already turned dark and his breathing was barely there. His condition was classic of patients whose hearts are about to stop beating.
Wu's condition did not improve after half an hour of resuscitation efforts. Wu was about to be pronounced dead by the team of doctors, but Dr. Chen decided to keep trying to save him. That decision made all the difference in the world.
I kept on administering more epinephrine, continued chest compressions, and shocking him with a defibrillator. After a total of 14 shocks, with 40 minutes already passed, his heart finally started to beat again. For me, that was a pure miracle.
After a total of 43 minutes, Wu's heart miraculously started to beat on its own again. After his condition was stabilized, he was immediately transferred to the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital for further treatments. Wu often says that if it wasn't for the efforts of the medical staff at the Yuli Tzu Chi Hospital, he might not even be around today.
I hope that the compassion medical model will continue since we are in a remote region. I hope they will receive more advanced medical equipment so that the local residents can receive the highest quality of medical care possible.
For 20 years, Yuli Tzu Chi Hospital has not forgotten its mission in emergency medical practices. Every doctor in the hospital is required to have emergency medicine training and experiences. This way, the small hospital can continue to safeguard the lives of anyone that is in need of medical attention. In Malaysia, Tzu Chi care recipient Wang Teng-soon injured one of his eyes in a work accident when he was young. Then, due to cataracts, his vision became blurred. Thanks to his friend's introduction, he met Tzu Chi volunteers. They accompanied him to the hospital for treatment.
南无阿弥陀佛，南无观世音菩萨，南无千手观世音菩萨，南无释迦牟尼佛，南无地藏王菩萨，南无阿弥陀佛。
I used to do the floor tiling work, but I only handled miscellaneous tasks. I have worked on this job for a long time, and I have founded this temple for more than 30 years. Some would ask for a talisman. Usually I go to work early morning and perform prayers at night. This eye was injured during work. I was breaking the wall and the stone hit my eye. I became blind. I can't see clearly and only rely on this eye. I was able to see with this eye, but later it developed cataract. Unfortunately, the surgery failed. My eyesight became blurred. It's blurry. I was not used to using my hands like a blind man. I was scared initially. I couldn't work, and due to my eyes problem, I hardly pray. I can't go out. I can only stay in the house every day, as if I am in jail. I went to private eye clinic to treat my eyes, but the cost is expensive. After using up my money, I went to government hospital for applying eye drops. Sometimes I didn't get a ride to see the doctor, and it's troublesome to take a taxi because it costs $30 per round trip. Now Tzu Chi gave me subsidy. I'm able to buy supplements, so I'm getting better now. It's convenient to have volunteers to drive me to the doctors. I'm so blessed to have Tzu Chi's help. Otherwise, it's troublesome and inconvenient for me.
The past 3 years, Tianshun has gone to the hospital with his friends, but they had communication problems with doctor, as well as poor hygiene. His living environment was not that ideal. Due to all these circumstances, he missed the best time to treat his eye.
后来经过医生的怀疑之后，我们觉得他可能没有办法准确的。
With the doctor's reminding, we thought that he hasn't applied the eye drops correctly. After learning his problem, Tianshun managed to apply the eye drops correctly. This helped it in improving his eye condition and his eye pressure. Fortunately, the pressure in his eyes was under the control.
就是他的眼压，眼睛里面的压力呢，把它控制了下来。经过 这么久啊，大概3年的时间哦，又加上手术移植失败。
In the past 3 years, because of the delayed treatment and the failed surgery, his nerves were damaged and his eye condition was not suited for any surgery. The success rate was not high. At first, when we told him this, he couldn't accept it. He didn't want to accept it. We asked one of his best friend, An, who is very close to him, to convince him to accept this situation and face it with an open heart. The only thing we can do is to spend time accompanying him and help him to accept the truth.
那么我们能做到的，只是一直长期的陪伴和跟他讲这个事实。一个失去视力3年的人生经历里哈。
For the 3 years with loss of eyesight, it is hard to imagine how he could live on without this group of friends. Being confined indoors, how could he endure his loneliness? It is because of these friends who visited regularly and chatted with him, giving him comfort. They even helped rebuild his collapsing backyard. At last, he didn't have to go through all this by himself. Luckily, there were friends who showed their concern and care regularly. It is very touching.
给他问候和照顾，我觉得这很感动的事情了。我觉得未来的方向是能让阿索能去接受这个。
In the future, I think we should help Tianshun to cope with his life independently. Therefore, he could be more confident and willing to step out of his home, such as to volunteer at the recycling station. I hope that he can manage his life better.
I like to help out just to help. Therefore, I won't feel bored. I volunteer and have chance to chat with people. It's more cheerful. They asked me whether I felt better. Of course I am.
Malaysia Tzu Chi volunteer Lo Po Leong was diagnosed with lymphatic cancer in 2016. She recently passed away at the age of 71. She was a dedicated supporter of Tzu Chi volunteers in Kidap. Having joined Tzu Chi in 1995, she later recruited family members to join Tzu Chi too. She donated a piece of land for the Tzu Chi Kidap office, Jing Si Hall, and a dialysis center. She once said that Buddhism showed her the right direction in life and made her fearless. As her life has reached the end, her words and deeds have made her a role model for others.
当时我姑姑发现她有病的时候，就开了一个家庭会议，要自己告诉大家，
就是说宣布给我们知道她有癌症的。
我们望一望对方，然后算是深深的祝福。
She was serious about studying Buddhism. She brought Buddhist education to her family. She was willing to donate to people outside her family.
Lo Po Leong joined Tzu Chi in 1995. As the family head, she recruited the whole family to join Tzu Chi.
非常感恩
I'm very grateful that she is the first to bring Buddhism to our family.
When we were donating the ancestral house to become a Tzu Chi office, family members were very happy because we didn't get this ancestral house easily. Now we can donate it to Tzu Chi, so it's like paying back my parents' love.
I feel she was the key figure at Tzu Chi in Kedah. With her around, I have nothing to worry about.
Our Tzu Chi humanitarian schools didn't have many volunteers, but she supported education a lot. I told her that I had no volunteers, and I wasn't a teacher, and I wasn't familiar with everything about our school. However, she helped me. If I needed anything, she'd be there to help me.
She was diagnosed of lymphatic cancer in 2016, and her condition worsened in 2018. Besides my dad and my mom, Auntie was a relative who was very dear to me. You can say that she was my second mom. We all loved her very much. Her family members and fellow volunteers love her very much. Even her funeral party embodies this love.
I wish Sister Polian will be at ease and accept the impermanence.
One evening, she told my uncle, she said, "I'm going back to Taiwan." It startled us. We can't bear her leaving either. She now lies there. We pray that she'll leave quickly and return quickly with her vow of being a living Bodhisattva.
Tzu Chi Thailand chapter is going to hold a charity concert to raise funds for impoverished students. To prepare for the concert, the performance rehearsed diligently. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.